Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Ruby. Yes, my name is Olivia, and I am in charge of the ANU Solar Racing's outreach program. So when I joined the team, my main goal was to get everyone else as excited about the amazing work that we're doing as I am. And one of the best places for me to stretch these muscles was through the outreach program, as it's a way to get the community involved and get other people excited. I had a rough idea of what had been done in the past iterations. They'd taken the car to schools, done a little presentation, and then taken the students out to see the car. And if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what we did for the first 3 schools. So after the first wave of COVID in the ACT, we took the car out to 3 schools. We gave a little presentation talking about the business team and the types of work that a business team does, talking about the technical team and the components of the car and how they'll all come together. The students also got to go outside and take a look at the car, which was a really great way for them to kind of see how everything fits together. And it's a pretty impressive piece of work. If you go to the next slide, you'll be able to see a couple more students talking to the car, talking to us around the car. And it was really great to see all the smiles on their faces when they would come up to us at the end and say, I'm really interested in mechanics now, that sounds awesome. Or they'll say, so renewable energy and solar energy is such an important thing. I'm so impressed with what you guys are doing. Or they'll just simply say that they really enjoyed hearing about how marketing and science come together. And maybe they'll look into doing something with that in the future. Part of what makes our outreach program just so special is that we're creating these STEM experiences at an early age, where students get to see that STEM is exciting, it's engaging, and they'll really associate positivity with it, as we do now. However, we weren't able to run these outreach programs in the format that they were for the whole iteration. As we progressed, we were going to be needing to test the 2019 car. So we weren't going to be able to take it to each schools. We did, however, run a Scouts outreach group. We went to a Scouts team, and this offered us just a bit more flexibility. We ran some little activities instead of doing a presentation. So we were still able to bring the car for this one. As you can see, lots of smiles around there. We also ran a business-related activity where they got to talk about the budget. They got to talk about the branding of the car and the branding of the team. And then, of course, some races, as all solar cars do. Next slide, please. So as I was saying, we weren't able to take the car to every single outreach program. So we had to kind of come up with a different approach. And we spoke about a few things, but a workshop seemed one of the best ways to keep that hands-on nature, but not having to take the car meant that we could leave it available for the technical team for testing. And it was just going to make it a bit easier and more adaptable for any age group. So as you can see here, the students were split up into smaller groups. They discuss options for the car. So they talk about what kind of chassis material they might like. How many wheels was a big decision that we had to make. So they discussed the benefits between 3 and 4 wheels. In this, they got to practice their critical thinking. So they're weighing up the options, discussing pros and cons. They got to practice their communication as they have to talk within their team. They might not all have the same ideas, a bit of arguing going on. And then they got to practice communicating their car as a whole to the group as they tell everyone what their car looks like. They also got a little taster of engineering design process, which I think was great. Next slide, please. And one of the best things about this outreach workshop format is that it's very adaptable. When we went back online, we were able to quickly alter it to an online format. And we ran an outreach program with another Scout group doing the same kind of workshop, just online. All of the Scouts seemed to have a lot of fun. It is difficult online, but they were still getting really engaged, discussing, asking questions. And we even saw a couple parents getting involved, which was great to see. Next slide, please. So another way that we have branched out this iteration with our outreach program is targeting different age levels. In the past, the primary school age students have been one of the focuses. They were the focus for the colouring in competition, which reached over 40 schools across the ACT. However, we wanted to get the older students involved as well, as we think it's really important that they hear about the ANU solar racing team just before they might be joining the ANU and maybe joining the team. We were lucky enough to be invited to the Women in Engineering and Science Expo Day at Hawker College as one of the keynote speakers. All of the students there got to hear about how we combine different passions that we have with STEM. So if you're on the marketing team, you're combining your passion for visual arts. We're also with STEM. They all had a lot of fun and we got some really great connections out of this event, which I really hope to build upon in the future as we connect with other schools across Canberra and maybe even outside of Canberra. Next slide, please. These are some of the feedback that we got from that day. It was really great to see that they're both interested in the technical aspects of the car, but also just interested in what kind of things you can do at university and how you can apply your passions, whether that be visual arts, whether that be law, whether that be environmental science. Really, you can do anything. And one of the key goals of the team is to empower students to be able to do what they want to do and follow their passions. Next slide, please. So just to wrap up the outreach program over its evolution, we have been to 7 schools this year, 1 Scout group, and we are planning more outreach in the future. So far we've reached over 750 students, with I'm sure extra connections made as those students talk to their friends at other schools. It's really progressed from a kind of presentation lecture style to a more flexible, adaptable, can be given to any age group and any kind of interests that the students may have. And I really hope to be continuing the outreach program into the future. Thank you very much.